welcome to another episode of the Achievers Pod. This is a podcast for career and business women who are ready to rise. And on this platform, we bring to you real tips, real stories, expert insight on businesses and career development, on leadership, on finances, on marketing, on wellness, and many more tailored towards you to help you grow, to help you thrive and achieve a higher level of success. My name is Victoria Showumi, aka First Lady V, and I am your host. So, this episode, I am here by myself, and I am going to be talking to you about a topic very, very dear to my heart. And it is such a topic that is really very applicable in this present economy that we are in, especially to my fellows here in the United States, and that is your finances. So, I'm going to be talking about your wealth, your way, and how you can build a lasting wealth, even a kind of wealth that will outlive you, that you are able to leave inheritance for your children and your children's children. So we are talking about money. All right, so this is the time where you grab your note, where you take out your phone, and just be able to take something down because I'm going to be sharing a few tips, gems with you that are really practical, things that you can do right away. And I said this is so dear to my heart because I wish that are things I knew earlier on when I first moved to the United States. And by the way, I have been in the United States for over 20 years. And money is a really a big thing. And as women, we all need to have a kind of level of financial control. Honestly, you need to have some money that is accorded to you, whether you marry, whether you're single. You need to have some level of financial control. As a married person, and at the same time, I believe as women you should have some finances that you control, that there are things you can do by yourself and that you will enjoy doing. Okay. So when I first moved into the United States, somebody actually sat me down and asked me questions about my career. And so for those who have career, you are in the right place. And ask me, what do I want to do in life? What do I want to become in life? And I'm like, such a good questions. Back in the days, my passion has been to be in the medical field. I know I'm not cut out for being a medical doctor, but I have passion to being a registered nurse. And back at home after my high school, I did try to get into nursing school. It was very challenging, but after spending a few years at home, I kind of changed my mind. I kind of went in the line of, you know what, let me do education. And actually, I was in school studying mathematics. Yes, to become a mathematician because I just want to have a career like down the road that I know there will always be a need for, that I know I will never be out of job or that I can always do something with. So I went on that road of becoming a mathematician till God said, come over to the United States. And so when she asked me that question was so very straightforward, I just told her what I wanted to be. And right there, she gave me some tips. She's a teacher. And then she said, this is what you need to do. Go into all these schools, ask questions. So I went to different colleges, into universities to kind of have an idea what the criteria how the prerequisites, all the things I needed to do. And I did follow the path. Few years later, I became a registered nurse. And I wish then that I had somebody interested in me to kind of let me know how money works, understanding money, and especially in the environment that I am in, to kind of know when money comes in, what do you do with it? What is the purpose of money? But well, it's not too late. And so, if you are such a person that you were like me many years ago, that you don't understand certain things about money, finances, wealth creation, you are in the right place. I always have this mentality, this mindset of earning and spending. So think about that. Maybe you were like me many years ago. You have the mindset of earning, meaning that you work, you do two jobs, you do three jobs to make money. But then what comes in, what happens? The money comes in here, the money goes out here. So it's a mentality or a mindset that I called earn it, EARN. You earn the money and then you spend the money. If you have that mindset, you can never, well, let me not use the never now. Okay, let's tone it down a little. But building wealth is going to be a little bit far fetching from you. If you are the person that say, you know what, let me earn the money. And because the thing is, when you have that mentality, you are earning, you are just spending, you are buying things. Sometimes you buy things that don't make sense. You buy things that accumulate dust, buy things that occupy space, things that just sit in the closet that you never use. It is a mindset. So that is probably one of the mindset you have to work on, that you need to shift from that mindset of earning and spending to the mindset of creating and growing. Two mindset totally different. Earning spending is going to keep you in a perpetual place in life where you don't want to be, because we always have to be struggling. We always be looking for job all the time to be able to meet your basic daily needs. But when you shift into creating and then growing, that is how wealth is built. And these don't happen one day, it happens over time. That is where being intentional comes in. So you have to come to a point where you like, I want to go away from this mindset of earning and spending to a mindset of creating and then growing. There are two different things there. So when it comes to creating, number one, you want to look at your earning potential. How, if you are working for somebody, how much are you making? What can you do to increase that? And from there, it's like, okay, with the skills you've acquired over time, how can you create something that can be generating money for you? That is where businesses comes in. That is why you look to outside of what you're making from your day-to-day job. You're making $60,000 a year, 100,000, but you want to come to a place where you're actually creating wealth. You are selling things. You have businesses operating, or you earn the money, you create something that is giving you money, and then you are investing, you are growing it. Growing known right now. I'm not talking about making money quick, because growing something doesn't happen overnight. It is systematic, it is a process. But before we get there, let's look at some culprit right now that you need to deal with in here in the United States. Some people are saying, I'm not a financial expert, so these are just advice that I'm giving. But some people are saying that probably we might be at the edge, going into recession. We are praying it's not so. But what if that is what is going to happen? And when recession comes in, which is something that we experienced in 2008, 2009, if you were in the United States at that time, a lot of people lost their job. And a few years ago, we almost had something similar to that during COVID, right? You can see something similar, a paradigm. But then people will lose their jobs. Money is not coming in. The stock will be going down. As if you have money investment, sometimes I don't even look at it, right? Things are like shifting. So what happened if you are somebody who is working for somebody right now, you're an employee of an organization? What happens if you go to work the next business day and you were laid off? Which a lot of people have experienced. Actually, I've gone through that twice. So I understand the feel, I know what it means. not knowing when the next big money is coming in to be able to pay your bills, to pay for housing, if you have a car note, insurance, groceries, children, all of those things. So if anything like that happen, how will you survive till the next job comes in? And let's say you don't lose your job. What if somebody is supporting you? You have a spouse that is working. What if something happens to that spouse? Sick, I'm in the healthcare industry and I see people coming in from one kind of sickness to another, cancer, this and that they did not plan for. So what happens if one source of income is lost? How are you going to be able to keep up with the life you're living right now? What happens if your car breaks down? If you have a home, what happens if your air condition goes out? Here in Texas, in Houston, the weather here, when it's hot for like 4, 5, 6, 7 months nonstop, you have the AC on running 24 hours. In my house, we have two AC because we are two-story building. These are expensive things. So what happens if things like that happen? Last year, my daughter has to have a dental work, and I remember we went for consultation, and then from the consultation to see an orthodontist, then they recommended us to go see an oral surgeon for some to extract some wisdom tooth before they can do dental work. Let me tell you, I'm talking about thousands of dollars that I did not plan for. What happens if your car breaks down? If the transmission in your car goes out, and you know those things are expensive, do you have an alternate source of income for those emergencies, for those loss of income? Are you able to survive? So those are a few things I want you to, number one, consider right now. Because if you're going to build wealth, you want to know that basic human needs, you are able to meet those things. And if you don't have enough resources for, in case you lose your job, in case your car breaks down, in case there is a major damage in your house that you need to fix, in case you have family outside of here that you need to help, if anything happens, if you don't have that, then you are not there yet. So those would be like an initial thing that I will want you to make sure you are able to protect your source of income and you are able to survive at least 3 months. That is where, when people talk about emergency funds, that is what it means. It means when life happens, you lose your job, your spouse lost his job, your daughter, your son has a dental work to do, you have something to do, house breaks down, car breaks down, one issue or the other, that you are able to do those things and then you continue to move on. Because if not, those are the things that get people into debt and further them into debt today. Because when something happens, they miss a week of work or an emergency happen, it throws them off balance. And when you are thrown off balance, wealth building is very, very challenging. So that is just a homework that I really want you to work on. All right. So now talking about shifting from your on spending to creating wealth. So look at where you are today. What are other things that you can do that can bring income to you? A lot of people do a lot of freelance work. People do consultation to start creating something. That is where a lot of people do side hustle. I go for side hustle, but let me tell you something with side hustle, it is just for a season. Because, like, how long do you want to hustle in your life? You need to come to a place where you can rest from all the hustle. So side hustle are just for a season. They are temporary thing that you do maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years, is to be able to generate money, to create money that probably you can now to grow so you can relax. So as I wrap up on how you grow your wealth, number one is about putting money into high yield savings account which are banking. So it can be online banking, it can be any local banking that you can go in, but most of the time their interest rate goes from 3% to 6%. Some may have like a you may have a requirement of the amount you can put in and for how long you can keep that money in. You can do a CD, to kind of like save the money. And also you may want to consider what they call index funds, ETFs. Those also helps, especially if you are leaving money in for a long time. If you are trying to flip money, then that may not be good for you. But we're talking about wealth building, which means growing your money, leaving it there for some time for it to grow. Also, you may want to invest in other businesses, maybe a local business, maybe a small business, but you have to make sure you do your due diligence, all right? Because when you are a venture capitalist, you are an investor, there are pros and cons. But if you do a due diligence and work with a CPA and attorney, then that will really they will open you up and let you know what you're doing right. And also, you may want to consider investing in properties, real estate. I have quite friends that invested in real estate, either partnering up with other companies, which I'm into right now, partnering with other people, buying like multi-unit homes and fix it up and then rent it out for a number of years. Those are growing money for you. Or you can buy small places, fix it up, make it look good, and you can use it for Airbnb. But make sure whatever you're doing that you take the time to do your research to just make sure what you're doing, you are doing it legitimately, and also that you know the in and out, because we are talking about growing money, not sending money down the drain. And so this is what I want you to do as soon as we finish this is number one, to try to track your income and expenses. One thing is to know where money is coming in from and know where your money is going. You want to be able to be accountable for each dollar that comes in. So take a time, if you spend debit card, look at your expenses throughout the month. Where are you spending your money? Where is your money going? And where is your money coming in? I talked about earn it and spend it mindset. Some people are actually spending more than they are earning because they're not looking into what they are spending. They're just buying things, just swiping that card. And also, you want to practice using your debit card if you're shopping locally. Usually I see when people travel, they want to use credit card, but for your daily things, please use debit card. Use the money that you have, because with debit card, that money leaves your account right away. And if you max out your money, most of the time it won't go. And if it goes, then you are spending more money. All right, save. If you don't have any saving, I'm challenging you to save your first $500 in the next 1 month. You can do it. When you look at your expenses, money that you're using for things you shouldn't be, subscription, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all those things, Echo, Alexa. If you are not using them, cut them off. And even with the economy, we don't know where things are going. Cut anything you spending money on that is excessive or that you're not using all the time. Cut it off. There was a time I had a subscription of clothing subscription every month or every other month, Stitch, and they'll be sending me like 3 to 5, actually 5 clothing. You look at it, you try them on. If you like them, you keep them, you have a discount, or you send them back. I was doing them like, how many clothes am I wearing? Come on, I shut it down. So look at some things you're spending money on that you can cut off so that you can be able to use that money to save your first $500 if you haven't saved it. And also think of what is, if you are working for somebody, think of what is it that you can start creating on the side. Can you be utilizing your skills, your experiences? Can you freelance? Can you draw? Are you a graphic designer? Can you proofread something? Can you start a small business on the side? Look for what you can create in the next 3 months. Read books on finances. Oh my God, I have few books here that I've read, and I will recommend any of these. These are read over and over again. in paperback, in Audible. I love this lady. I follow her a lot. Oh my goodness. I have read this book. I don't even know how many times. Think and Grow Rich. I read this version, and there is a female version of it. I love it, love it, love it. Read on finances. This is another one. Actually, this one is the journal, but I have the main book. Yeah, I love this guy, Rami Sith. Sethi, up, I say his name right. I will teach you to be rich. It's a good book, and then I got the journal along with that. Not done yet. Total Money Makeover by Ramsey. Oh my goodness. Dave Ramsey, this book, I don't know how many times I've read it. I have like smaller version of it. Read books on finances. Those are just some books that I've read and I'm still reading. Oh, actually, there's one more here that I have here. Millionaire Teacher. Guys, if you the information is there, the knowledge is there, please seek for it. So at least take one book, one of those books to read. There's another one I didn't have right with me here. We should all be millionaire. Woo. Read something on money or listen to podcasts that talk about money so you can get a good grip of your finances. We're talking about your wealth. We're talking about finances. You have to be intentional because it doesn't start one day. Over time, once you start it, before you know it, your savings is increasing, and before you know it, you're able to save huge amount of money that you can use for investment properties, or investing into businesses. There are so many opportunities out there that you can invest in. So, guys, this is the end of today's session on finances. Your health, your wealth, your way also has a limit. You don't want to do it for the rest of your life, but you want to be able to create wealth and grow your money. If this has added value to you, let me know. What are you saving money for? What is your goal? How much do you want to have in saving right now that you can use for emergency fund? Put it right in the chat. And if you're thinking of starting something, creating something, what are you creating? If you already saved and you want to start investing, what is your first investment? Let me know in the comment below. My name is Victoria Show Me, and if you would like somebody to just speak your, if you like somebody to really guide you through on businesses, on managing your finances, I can help. All right, I'm going to put my calendar right in the description right there. You can book a 15 minute session, but after that is paid session. So I love you guys. Have an amazing week. Till I see you again, continue to achieve success. This is Victoria Showme, aka First Lady B. Bye.